Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing? Welcome to Talk Back. Today's topic is going to be a juicy one. I say that every week, I'm sure. This week, we will be talking about side hustles and the gig economy. Along with me, so I'm your host, Dio D, aka D. Along with me are my co-hosts. We've got Natalie, Nat, naturally right, but we call her Nat.
Hi.
And then we have Cassandra, Black Barbie, Cass.
Hi.
So, sorry about a little sound technical there. We are definitely working on improving that. We've been listening to your feedback and we're definitely on our way to making sure the sound quality is second to none. Right. Before we dive into today's topic, we would like to, first of all, venture into our trending topics. As you like to know, we like to find out what's going on the internet, what people have been discussing, the kind of conversations that people have been having, what's been trending out there. So, ladies, I'm going to throw at you like, what's been happening this week in the world of social media, in the world of worlds? What's been going on?
Okay, so Sam Smith done quite an extravagant performance in thongs and fishnets and had the sheets clapping.
And it was thrust in the air, and he had horns. It was a lot.
Did you see it?
I just saw it on Instagram. I didn't see the actual show, but I saw him come out. He had like knee-high bootsy things, like some leather shorts, had a corset. Yeah. He had the horn with hats, and then he was pumping the tip. Naked, pumping.
And he had his bum cheeks out.
No.
You know, this is the world we live in today.
Wait a minute. So this is a Sam Smith concert. If you don't know, Sam Smith is a pop artist. I think he won Britain's Got Talent or Pop Idol or whatever.
And he was really good.
And at the time, he was super good. But he came on as a heterosexual artist, right? Guy. And then when he won, he came out of his skin and he said, I want to share who I am with the world. I'm actually, gay. I'm this, that, and the other. And I've been watching his progress so far. So I'm really shocked to hear that this is the direction that Sam Smith has decided to go. Shocked?
It was definitely inappropriate because imagine how many children are watching his concerts.
Yeah, but we've been talking about this for a little while now in terms of the direction that the world is going with, the whole way that people express themselves, the freedom to express themselves and be their true, authentic self.
I don't think I was surprised though when I mean, obviously I was surprised by the whole look of the ensemble, but I think that's the way, that's the way he's been going. It's like once he got his fame and then he became an artist, he's like, well, I want to be myself and show me. And he came out and he's been slowly getting more and more extravagant. I don't know why, but he kind of reminded me of Boy George, like a half-naked Boy George.
But I don't remember seeing Boy George thrusting and doing all those kind of even female artists that come on stage with next to nothing. I don't think it's not. Well, actually, do you know what?
Well, they do.
Yeah, they do quite a lot.
They do all of that. Miley breaking her back. That started off.
I think she went a bit too far. There was one point when he had the strap. Obviously, is that
that gagging, like what they use for dominatrix?
That's right, and he had that in his mouth. And he had this
the ball?
Yeah, he went way too far.
Whoa.
It was very.
Well, he's obviously got an audience for it, and they, because the reviews were, it was a really good show, and I'm thinking, okay, it must be really good. So when I just saw that little clip, I thought, well, I wouldn't pay to go and watch this.
Did he? Was that the whole night, or
I don't
was
know.
it outfit changed? I hope so, because
too far for the children.
He must have been a bit chilly in the willy. He was chilly in the willy because there was all out.
Look at him, he's absolutely gorgeous though. He's such a handsome. He's a handsome man.
Sorry, but I disagree. Look, what?
But then I can't even say that. Maybe
shaming him, haven't they? Because some people
they've been fat shaming him.
See that, yeah,
because he's got a bit of meat on him.
He does, but he's confident with it. But he just doesn't need to present himself in such a.
And of course, he had the corset. The belly was hanging out the bottom. Yeah, but I think he's a good-looking guy.
I think for me, I mean, for a Caucasian guy, I mean,
he ain't got no lips. His face is.
This is the thing. He looks a bit.
He looks lips. I don't know. I'm not gonna be PC, so let me be quiet.
No way, I can't.
Sorry, while we're on this topic, have you heard of naked classrooms?
No, what's this?
So my colleague was telling me about this today. There's supposed to be 4 adults that enter a classroom naked.
Oh.
And the class is supposed to, the teachers now speak to the children about naked bodies. And I just can't believe. It's supposed to be on the BBC.
Wait. So
Whoa.
it's a
Naked
classroom
classrooms,
setting,
a classroom full of children.
and 4 naked people enter
Adult people.
4 naked adults enter the classroom. And for what reason?
But
But the children can
talk
see
about
their
body
bodies.
parts, and I just
But
think
they
it's so inappropriate.
I think, do you know what? I was having a discussion at work today and talking about sex education. Now, the law has changed that you can't opt out.
of the sex education.
Keep your child home that day.
No, yeah, but you can't opt out. Like legally, you can't opt out. And I was talking about the choices, like parents' choices are being taken away, and the government now say this is what your child needs to know, and they have to be educated about this, and this. And I was saying that the agendas and like the different things, parents don't get a choice.
No,
now.
but do you know what? Do you know back in the day when I remember when my parents used to lick me down for anything? I'll just say something wrong and I'm getting it right.
Yeah.
And then as I was growing older, the laws were saying you can't smack your children. But the social system has failed and he's failing. Guess what? They're reversing that whole you can't hit your
they
children
said that. I
thing.
saw that.
I think that the actual law is you're allowed to chastise your child without causing a mark. So no one wailing. So if you were to get a smack on the bottom, that's allowed unless it creates a mark. And if it creates a mark, then you've now
colouring or welt,
wailing.
like a welt. So it's right.
Or bruising. Yeah.
Well, I would be in trouble around my house, boy, because the welts was there.
Wait, but I feel like for brown skinned people, even if for brown skinned people, it's, you can't really tell compared to a Caucasian smacking. They just go pink and black and green and whatever, even like the change of the weather.
And they have that bruise.
Why?
Why you laughing? Hello? Did you say something? No, but I don't know. With the smacking thing, I do agree with you that sometimes the smacking, because I know some of the smacks that I got were too far, but it's the mentality of our parents, and to me it is linked down from our ancestors and how we were treated, and so I do think that we need to be a lot. I don't necessarily agree with the beating, but I do think you should be able to discipline your child, and I do think that parents should have the final say. I don't think the government should get to come in and say, well, actually, no, I want to teach your child about...
You can't do that.
Sexual sex.
For religious reasons.
You can't opt out. You can
there's going to be a lot of... the high rate of homeschooling is going to increase.
I mean, it already has. People are doing what they want to do, but I don't know. I just think it's a scary world that we live in, and it is a dictatorship where you're being told what your children have to learn, and it's like...
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Back it up.
But that actually brings me to a current trending topic: the alerts, the mobile phone alert on the 23rd.
I've been
23rd, guys. There's been some things flying around about the government. Yeah.
Every mobile phone. Around 3 p.m. And the alert will stay to your phone. So unless you actually
activate.
Well, that's what they've said. That's what they've said. But I heard that on the government website, that's not what's actually happened. They want to well, I've done my alert.
Yeah, I've done mine.
But I do think there is a lot of element of causing like panic.
Yeah, definitely.
There was another thing on the radio about this flooding. Like something we broadcast about what's flooding in England.
Yeah, but we're a small island in the middle of the sea, to be honest. Yeah. That could happen. Who's building underground? Excuse me. Who's building the people with the money?
Oh.
Who said it is?
Underground bunker that needs to fight
I feel like that now we're gonna have the phone.
Warning them.
Warning you now. But they're saying that it ends his life. But on one of the videos that I watched. This is crazy. And I remember in lockdown when I was scared of myself. And now you got anything live.
As well. Which is why they rolled out 5G, or was it 4G,
5G,
during the
exactly.
COVID, didn't they? Oh, it's just so crazy and scary to think. All right, let's move away from that. Juicy one. I don't know if you guys have been hearing. There's a certain footballer that is estranged from his wife, and my girl thought that she can take him to the cleaners. She thought she could ask for 50% of his annual income, his salary, everything, basically his whole being. And guess what? You guys hear about this?
I did, yeah.
And guess what? She's not getting shin. She's not getting nothing. She's not getting shin. Nothing.
But I mean, did she? I mean, right? I think it's a really interesting debate because what he actually did was that he had put all of his money, all of his assets into his mum's name.
Yeah.
But I think
Well done.
someone was saying that he did that before. Because it wasn't like he just got married and he said, "Oh yeah, let me put my money over there." This is what he was doing before anyway, which just shows the kind of person that he is, and he wants to give back to his mum.
Yeah.
But she got a hell of a surprise, thinking she gonna get half.
Yeah.
Yeah, get half and nothing.
Well, this is apparently it's the shortest marriage recorded in football history.
No way.
Wow.
I thought she was
How
too
long
And
they
she's
married
like
for?
15 years older than him. She's
No
like 36
way.
or something.
No.
So listen, but the thing is, they have 2 children together. So I think,
2020. But I think they've been married. They were married from 2020 to 2020.
yeah. So they've only been together, like, but they've been estranged. So even though their marriage has been 3 years, they've been estranged for a long period of time. So she thought she could just take him to the cleaners. Meanwhile, like you said, he's always paid. It's not something that he's done now. He's always paid his wages into his mum's account.
Well, 80%, isn't it? He said 80% goes directly to his mum.
From the beginning.
Yeah, that's lovely.
And this is why I always say, like, when I hear stories of, athletes or well-to-do people that make a success out of themselves, and when either they pass away or something happens, their spouse gets everything. And I always say, what about the mum that was driving, or the mum and dad that was driving this child up and down to all of these things? The motivator, the cook, the health expert, the mum is the shoulder, and then the parents, and then all of a sudden the child goes off, becomes really rich and famous, and then it just upsets me.
It was the basketball player who died.
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, I saw that story where all the money went to his wife.
Right. I mean, she deserves it. She was there all along. She was there all along. She had his 8 big children. I get that. But all of your assets, everything you've worked for, you go and leave it open for the government to take because you don't have a will in place, or you don't have certain things in place. But this guy, I actually love. I'm in love with him for this act, because look at it. Look at his mum.
Oh, look at mommy. Can
you imagine waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday or Sunday when the rest of your mates are sleeping in bed after a night out, and then taking your child to football?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what Gallo do.
His family is key, and I think it shows his love for his mum and respect for her. And I think it's good, like legally, a lot of the time, you mentioned before about when people die and there's no will and money gets distributed. I think it's just nice that he's put, Mum, you live the best that you can, as much as you can. When she passes, the money will still pass to him.
Yes.
I just think it's beautiful. And I think it's hilarious that I didn't know all of that bit about she's some old bird trying to.
He's older than him by like 12 years.
I didn't know.
Shin shin. You know what is funny actually? The whole reason why we found this about and why this is floating on the air is because he's being done for allegations of rape.
Oh wow.
Yeah, apparently, The defender is under investigation after allegations of rape against him on a 24-year-old female whilst his wife and children were on holiday.
Oh wow.
So that's the whole reason why we even know that this guy is that they're having divorce and and that she's not getting anything. So I don't know who she's going to move on to.
April is violence against women month.
Yes, it is.
And it's always a very sensitive subject to talk about rape. And I think women have to be careful about the allegations that they throw around, because when you actually are in that situation, you want people to take you seriously.
Seriously.
So if she says she's been raped, then you've got to stop and listen. But sometimes women do come forward, or they don't take responsibility for their actions and put themselves in the situation.
Well,
sometimes
I think that just because someone's there's an allegation made doesn't mean the person's guilty.
No,
they're always innocent until proven guilty. But there have been many cases where women have lied.
Yeah,
and there was a big case recently, wasn't there, where the woman said that she was kidnapped by a gang of men and raped. And
the Asian clan or something. And it was a white girl saying that she had been groomed by a group of Asian guys. We actually might have touched up on it, and their whole livelihood has just been ruined. And then we found out that actually she made all of this up.
Did she? How did they find
out? They even saw her go into the shop and buying one of the
hammer to beat herself up. Yeah. And these guys had alibis of where they were, for attention. Just for attention. She's ruined these people. So there are false allegations that happen.
It's difficult, because once something is said and put out there, you don't have to believe it. You should believe and support something.
Right. And also she posted things on Facebook of her the physical state in which and injuries in which she incurs. Yeah. She faked the whole thing. And then they showed basically the investigation. Somebody went out of their way to make sure that these men were proved as innocent.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
Yeah. We're not saying that obviously the footballer is
innocent or guilty.
We don't know. We wasn't there.
It's interesting.
There are some men that also.
I feel like he must be a bit.
Need to understand.
From not knowing him, I'm thinking this guy's a bit of a softie. Sweetheart.
Yeah, but you never know. But let me say people as well.
Let me say the reason why. This is somebody that's been brought up I would like to believe in a really good upbringing background. One, he thought of his family first. Once the fame came, he's a sweet person. He thought of his family first. Yeah, right. You married this woman, regardless of her age, regardless of anything. He married her. Didn't think about the age. Had children with her. So she's obviously a manipulative individual. I don't know.
We don't know that.
Listen, I mean, you guys.
She be putting in the way. How do you?
I mean, you guys.
Hold on. Can we just reverse roles now?
And also,
can you imagine if you were the wife?
No, wait now. So then this third thing that makes me think that this guy is a softy sweetheart.
Okay.
He met some young babe and he's having his way with her. She knows he's a footballer. She knows he's worth millions. And she's just thought, I'm going to just throw rape on there. I'm just saying it could be true.
But what if he really did?
May not be true.
But what if he really did?
I devil's the advocate. So you guys can just take that.
What I find with rape sometimes,
sensitive,
and I've had my own experiences.
Sensitive.
Sometimes men, it's not an excuse for them. In their mind, they don't necessarily believe
that you want you to stop.
It's very much about perception. And sometimes, when you get yourself into a situation and there's pressure to, get involved. But then the man, sometimes in their mind, they're not thinking they're doing anything wrong, and they actually genuinely believe they're not.
And they genuinely believe that maybe you're kind of playing games.
We're grown now, but there's no game playing. When you're back in your teens, fair enough. But we're grown ass women. Do you understand? So I think if a woman says no, it's no. It's not no, but I want you to tease me. No, but I want. It's no.
No, but some people's sex language is that. Some people's language is the whole chasing and the guy thinking I've got to. Yeah. So sometimes I feel like where's the.
I think that's predator mentalities. I don't know. I'm sorry. I think if a woman says no, then the man just needs to respect that, regardless of how hot he's got
alcohol and things like that.
The influence of alcohol makes it even worse, darling. And if you go to court, that's an aggravated feature. You're going to get a longer sentence. Do you understand? If you do something like
somebody's intoxicated, but there's all of these.
You can't consent.
There's all of these different factors.
Yes,
that play a role. There are some cold, calculating, heartless men that take and do what they want to do. But there are
rape doesn't have to be aggressive.
Yeah, it doesn't. It could just be.
Anyway, so do we think this? Do we think that Ashraf Hakimi, the Moroccan German defender, do you think?
Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah. Do you think what he's done is smart though, in terms of like?
Yes. But then, if you were the wife, would you feel the same? If you married a man, ensured that you were taking care of the home, brought 2 children,
she didn't just say you should pay me. I know I'm so passionate about this. She didn't just say pay me, like give me for the time I've spent with you. She's going for 50. She's going for half is half all the way down.
But let's think about her position. She's loved him, she's cherished him, she's supported him, she's cooked and cleaned, and
we don't know all of that. She could have been weighed on, but we know.
Okay.
Right, I don't know, but we have to think about, is it a right then? If you marry someone, is it her right to invest in certain lifestyle that she might not have if she was with him? And at the end of the day, you weren't with him, you weren't living with him, doing all that. You look after his children, and she will not compensate for that. But
the children will be looked after. I'm sure.
Sorted out, so that you're always going to be all right. But do you deserve 50% of how much million does he make?
Okay, maybe now.
She's a money grabber.
And it's like there's the issue about prenups and things like that.
Yeah,
she probably thought she got out of jail getting the bank free card.
Is she a wag? Is it wag?
Yeah, wag. The wag card. And he never asked me nothing. She probably, I'm put in, but this guy there. Don't worry about this debate.
I wonder if they actually had that conversation.
No, she didn't know.
She didn't know. No. Because otherwise she wouldn't have done this. She could have just said, my monthly upkeep is let him maintain that. Instead, she's going guns a-blazing for half of everything, as if she's the one training, waking up whatever time in the morning and running up and down the field and doing all of those things. She isn't. She's really annoyed about this one. She doesn't know. No, because obviously I'm just looking to the future and I'm thinking, like, all the investment you put into your children and you want the best for them, you push them out into the world and hope that they've taken all the lessons learned, you know what I mean? All the things that you enforced into them. And then some person that they get involved with decides that they want to ruin their life.
She's got 2 sons as well.
I've got boys.
They're going to look after me. Mama first. Like.
No, actually, they skip me. My mom's always been like, she says to the boys, oh, I hope you know that grandma's here when you make it. Anyway, so that's been this week's trending topic. As you can tell, there's loads of things going on out there. It's all about you doing research for yourself, talking, having communications with friends and family, and really informing yourself on what media, not what the mainstream media necessarily don't push out, and find out those things for yourself. But it's been really interesting catching up on this week's trending topics and what things are really, what things people are talking about out there. So we're going to swiftly move on to our main topic of the week. Our phone lines are also available and open for you to join in the discussion. We'd love to hear from you as well. So please feel free. Don't be shy. All we hear is your voice. And as you can tell, we're very open and free. We're not going to bite. So please do feel free to call in. But yes, so today's trending topic is about... Okay, sorry. I'm looking over at production, and I'm seeing all kinds of. Where's your head today? It's just the next that I hear there, next on body. Anyway, so today's trending topic is about side hustles and the gig economy, and we really wanted to talk about this because we all have day jobs. Could I call it day jobs? Yeah. So we all have contracted. Yes, we all have. Yeah, we all have contracted employment, and on the side, some of us have side hustles. So we thought this was about Willis. Some of us. Wait.
No, I don't know what you know me. I do 6 million things.
Yeah. So Okay. Now, how many side hustles do you have?
I don't know. Well, I do. Obviously, I do DJing,
Mhm.
modeling,
Mhm.
promotion,
Mhm.
bit weekly, sometimes.
Mhm.
You know, whatever I could do, I would get something on the side, but hustle it.
Gotta
like,
do
I
what you
wouldn't
gotta
get-
do.
Yeah,
You gotta do what you
hustle to
gotta
make
do.
money.
And some people don't have side hustles because their 9 to 5 is a hustle on top of itself. Being what it is. Yeah. So I would say that more for Cass, really.
Me, I don't actually do a 9 to 5. I'm
This is
self-employed. So I would probably fall
Assistant
within
side
the
hustle.
gig economy where
Okay.
I invoice firms for the work that I do. But I work for multiple firms.
Shall we just let's define this gig culture? Because when I saw like this, what we were talking about, I was like, what is that even?
Yeah.
And from what my understanding
Mhm.
is, it's like non-contractual, non-permanent work.
Mhm.
You don't get any of the benefits like
Mhm.
sick pay
And holidays.
holidays and that, but you do
Yeah,
get
you
to
got yourself.
choose when and where you work.
Yeah.
You're self-employed. You're a contractor. So, and I think with lockdown, and it changed a lot of how people work.
Oh,
I think
definitely.
Since then, like the gig economy has grown.
Yeah. So there's two things. There's the side hustle and then there's the gig economy.
Yeah.
What you've just described is the gig economy, right? And the side hustle is having a full-time job and then doing little bits and bits. So what would you say you currently do?
I would definitely say I'm a side hustler.
Yeah, me too. I'm a moonlighter, side hustler. Yeah.
I'm a hustler.
Anyway, what is wrong with us today?
I don't know. We're in a good mood. Monday.
It is. It's a nice. It's nice coming back from the bank holiday, isn't it? And I guess we've missed each other.
Yeah.
And we definitely missed you guys. So for me, side hustle it's a great way to make extra income. It's a great way to probably advance something like a skill or passion that you have, and try and make a bit of money from it. Like you said, the pandemic is when I really honed in on my side hustle. So prior to that, I was working full time, and that's what I did. I mean, I always have been involved in sort of projects or things, but I never looked at the monetary aspect of it. I would just do favors for people and do things for people. But then COVID came in, and I had the full-time job. But I wasn't satisfied because now you've got all this time, you can't go out, you can't do anything. So I started looking at things that I've always wanted to do and I'm interested in doing. And then I just started like sort of perfecting and working on those crafts. And now I can safely say that I've got several side hustles, being the fashion business that I set up as well, African fashion clothing business. I do freelance admin work as well. And I also obviously do the DJing on Friday nights and weddings and weekends, weddings and events on weekends. So for me, the side hustle really took off at a time where I had the space and the mind to kind of do that. And I've noticed that there's a lot of people now really. I've never heard about side hustles before that, to be honest.
I think I always thought I was just okay. I suppose that was before I really got into my teaching career. Something. I think I've always had that hustler mentality. Wherever I can make money, I will try to make it.
Yeah.
But I do feel that lockdown definitely pushed a lot of people, everybody really, to start thinking about what their skills are and how they can use them. And, you saw a lot of people coming through lockdown with
businesses.
People were cooking, they were baking, they were learning to DJ. Wheat cakes.
There's a pandemic of DJs that have come through from that period. There's so many things, and it's just like, can you make money, and can it make you feel a little bit more comfortable?
It's about consistency, isn't it? I think the beauty of that are people actually following their passions. Because when you're working a 9 to 5 and 5, 10, 20 years down the line, it's just a dead end job, isn't it? So if one thing I'll definitely encourage people is to follow your dreams. Although you're working and you're doing your 9 to 5 or your jobs, is also make that time, even if it's at the weekend, to follow your passions and just find a way to build yourself into the area that you want to flourish, like what you've done with your
DJ. You probably might not know, but because you are our resident funerals, You know, everybody, not everybody. I wonder about tax with it. Like, you know, like, because I've recently...
As a sole trader, you'd have to set up.
So you have to set up like sole trader and...
Yeah, but it depends. Unless you're going through...
Announce your side.
Well, it depends on what you're doing.
It depends on what you're doing, the fields that you're working in.
Yeah, definitely. Because there's some fields where you might want to set up a company that may be more viable. So you're not liable for... I'm not saying anything's going to go wrong.
Company.
Yeah. And obviously you're limited to shares and liabilities limited.
Naturally. Like, after in lockdown, I started selling the fan. And then I do the DJing and modelling. So I thought, well, let me just create, like, I wanted to brand the name naturally. So I created it. And I've got to start putting in tax. But I ain't really, it's side hustle, so it's not as structured as...
It depends on how much you're making. If you're turning over a certain amount of gross a year, it's worth having the limited liability organization company. But if you're just a side hustle, you register as a sole trader and then your taxes are done completely different. So you're less liable, you know, for like, I don't know, health and safety, or maybe there's a fire, an event or something.
Well,
but there's ways around that. You can
definitely do your research though in the niche that you're in, so you know what your
the pros and cons. So how do I? Because I'm just lumping it all in. It could be the sales of the fans. It could be
but that's why you do sole trader, because remember I'm quite similar in that aspect. And I had to sit down with an accountant, and I have a limited liability organization set up, and as well as I'm also registered as a sole trader. And after we looked at it and the pros and cons, it seems better for me in terms of what I'm doing right now to actually just venture and hold as a sole trader. So I need to close down the business.
I think that I might have to make a move over, because I did it because I thought I had to, but then I'm not really doing that much of a side hustle. Not that I want to.
Yeah. So you don't really need an accountant. You just need to take the time to sit down, work out your profits, your losses, work out the profit margin for the products, and
you're talking out of experience here.
Yeah, of course. And not just experience. Obviously, we do accounts, we do our law degrees, so we learn every aspect.
Okay.
When you do law, So it's just taking time to understand your business and understand your accounts. Because I do have a friend, and she was very, very successful, and she had her cousin as an accountant for many years. Maybe like 5 years into it, all of her banks were frozen. Found out that she was paying her cousin to come and do her account. She wasn't doing anything. She was literally just taking her money, and everything was frozen.
That's why you need
to sometimes take the time to learn.
I had a friend who hustled up a whole heap of money, and he was trying to buy property in Brazil, and then his cousin was doing the accounting, and he completely stitched him up. You got to worry. You got to work them accountants.
Oh,
and solicitors. Some solicitors, you got to watch them too. Not me.
All right, let's look at some great ways of boosting your income through passive side hustle. Right. So do you guys know about affiliated marketing or affiliated network? You don't. You know when someone comes in and says, "I've got this really great deal for you."
But I'm just.
But when someone says, "Oh, I'm selling," you
break it down. You presented it to us. So.
I asked you a question. That's the
you said, "Do we know?" I said, "Yeah," yes. But we're waiting for you to tell us.
I don't know. So.
Okay, so affiliated marketing or affiliated network is like, you know, when someone comes to you with a really great idea of some business that they're doing. Nah, that's like investment. They're actually going to give you a lot of money for you to make your business run, right? And they get profit and benefits from it. Yeah. No, this is somebody coming up to you and saying, "I've got a great business idea. And I've started doing it, but I want to build my team. As I build my team, I get to make some money, and whoever I'm bringing in gets to make some money. But if you want to be on my level, there's like a tier pyramid type of something. But if you want to be on my level, you've got to recruit your own team. Now, I sit at the top doing nothing. You are doing all the running around, trying to create the team. And then as you're creating your team is not running around trying to create the next team.
Yeah. But then the person at the top eats every time that I bring in someone else from another level. The person at the top eats. Yeah, it is. And the person at the top is going to get the short end stick.
Where's the money? Where's the money coming with this?
This is it. You're going to spend lots of hours doing that. You've got to be good at networking. You've got to be good at selling. I don't see that. I tried. I don't see it as a good a side hustle. There's a lot of work. I don't like a
I
lot
see
of
that
work.
like a main hustle, really, for the person that's sitting at the top and all the money for everyone else.
That's the side hustler.
Yeah.
But everybody else is on the money.
Hustling the gangster.
Okay, there's another one called display advertising and sponsorship deals. You know, like if you got a YouTube channel
Okay.
or you got an Instagram,
Mhm.
and then they've got thousands of followers, and they'll say, "Oh, I clean my face with, I don't know,
Oh yeah.
or I use this hair product."
With the gym guys,
Yeah, pumping. Yeah, and then you're like, "Oh, I want to look like that. I want to look trim like that." And then you're like, "Oh, this is what I use." Most of the time, it's a lie. But because they've got such high followers, they can push those things out. And then you click, you buy, I get shares or cuts from that. So that's a really big one if you've got a lot of followers.
Yeah, if you've got followers.
Yeah, if you've got a lot of followers. But to build followers, I think, and I think I might have said this to you recently, that if you jumped, like when a new platform has been created, if you're able to understand the platform and market yourself, or find something that you can market that people are interested in, you would do well. But once that platform is saturated and you're coming 2, 3, 10 years later saying, "Oh, I'm going to be an influencer on this platform," you're going to have a really hard time because of the way the algorithms and everything works. And this is all based out of my own personal experience. I could be wrong. Please call in and correct me if you've experienced something different. I guess if you've got a really great product or great service, then maybe it might apply differently. What other kind of side hustles have you guys come across?
I don't know if it's more gig.
Yeah.
Since lockdown, Uber, drivers, so a lot of people you see like Deliveroo. You see it's an epidemic of motorcycles everywhere you go.
No, what about the ones that do get here, the little bikers?
Yeah, on the bike. A lot of those people are just contractors, and they're part of the gig economy.
Yeah.
Where they decide when they want to work, sign into Amazon or Amazon Flex or Uber Eats, whatever it is you're working. Sign up to work every day for however long, and then that's how you get your money. But then the next week you might not want to work. So that's really good. But then I do know people. I've got friends who are Uber drivers who work their backside off, and they drive all up and down all day. They make very, very good money. But if they get sick or something happens, that's all on them.
So there's no sick pay. I'm off leave for a couple of days. The job will pay me, and none of that.
So you're just dependent.
That contracting.
Yeah.
It is literally contracting, isn't it? Okay, guess what the highest paying field is?
What?
Yeah, in gig and side hustles. The highest paying thing that someone could do.
Stripper?
No, even strippers don't even make as much as carpenters.
Really?
Oh, that would make
That's
sense.
interesting.
Yeah, carpenters.
What? In the gig of culture, they can just come and work.
Carpentry is the highest paying in 2023. Checked out. Yeah, carpentry. So if you're good with your hands, make hair. I guess my parents have always said that. If you're good with your hands, regardless of what's crashing around you in terms of the finance sector or what have you, if you're working in the finance sector, like you can always survive.
Yes.
Like if you can, cook. I don't know. Like if you're good with your hands, and I think even the Bible says, I read the Bible once in a while, but even the Bible says
It says that the gifts that God has given to you is in the palm of your hands. And sometimes people are seeking. It may not, don't quote me. It doesn't actually say those specific words in the Bible.
Paraphrasing.
But it's basically in the palm of your hands. I'm talking about my
life. Sure.
Yeah, it does. Rather than be looking left and right and looking for other people to come and bring something to you, that God has given to you everything you need, and it is in the palm of your hands. You just need to look within yourself and identify your strengths.
I do believe that you've got to use your skills, and I think a lot of people times say, do so much. How are you doing it? But it's the skills and abilities that I have, or that come and opportunities that come to me. So why wouldn't I
explore it and
use
use it?
Explore it, and if I can make a little bit of money while I'm doing
why
it,
not? Gonna make that
I'm
money.
gonna do it.
You can make up to 20K in side hustle a year.
What do you mean? By what you're allowed to?
No, but most people do. Most side hustlers make an extra 20K a year in their side hustle.
Well, they do say to have more than one stream of income.
Yeah. It's better to have several.
Yeah, and especially in this current economy and the way things are going. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so there's things like local handyman. Tutoring is another side hustle that does really well.
I used to do a little bit of tutoring.
Yeah, how was that?
It was good actually. When I first, well, not first qualified, but I was people used to beg me to do it. And I was like finding time. But it was actually good. I used to actually quite like doing the tutoring.
Was that in person or online?
No, in person it was before.
So you've got to travel there.
Yeah, go to
do the whole thing.
They were there.
I'm not interested.
Help them with the GCSE.
Oh, that's so sweet, nah. I'm not interested.
You're a teacher, so you have a passion for helping and teaching children.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
Right, but it's just time. Time consuming.
Yeah, it is, because that's what I'm saying.
It's good money,
the journey
though.
there. It depends. It depends on what you're.
Got a few of them.
Yeah. If you can have more than one in a classroom. Okay. Selling digital products. Mm-hmm.
Like buying phones.
Or you can buy something from like China, and then sell it off before, like you never ever get the product. It goes straight from the supplier in China straight to your client.
It's like Etsy, isn't it?
What do you call it?
It's like Etsy.
It's like Etsy. You can market it on Etsy, eBay, Facebook, YouTube, eBay, all of those platforms, but you never actually have to hold stock. Yeah, it goes directly to. Yeah, so there's that. There's multi-level marketing. There's profit models, but like some of these side hustles, you have to put a lot of money into it. So there's hefty financial, but startup. For example, an accountant. For example, you're a freelance legal what's that called? Professional. Stuff. But there's a lot of investment. There's been a lot of financial investment into that to get you to be being a gig person in essence. Essentially.
Yeah, we've got to study. To get to where we need to get to. I suppose a lot of solicitors do work in-house. A lot of barristers. We come into the category of legal consultants. So you have in-house solicitors that are assigned and work within the firm, and then you have legal consultants like me and my other colleagues, and we work sometimes in the office, sometimes from home. We pick our hours, but then to be honest with you, I can't really take off a whole week of work. If I go back, I'm going to have a bigger workload. I've got cases that have deadlines. I've got court deadlines. So I'm not as flexible as the average gig economy worker, like a hairdresser or a carpenter. It's a bit more demanding.
Yeah, like the accountants are more demanding as well.
Yeah,
the
so deadlines you got to hit, so you can't really. You can choose your hours. You have to work.
Okay, what would you say are red flags to consider when taking on a side hustle opportunity and gig work? You guys you think of any?
Well, I would have said the first thing, the big money starts.
Yeah.
Try to avoid that. You really kind of want to make a lot of money from as little as you can, but sometimes there's no way around it. Like for example, with the fans, when I went to Ghana, I was like, right, I'm going to get these fans, and I sold one when I was out in the race. I had to invest. I had to pay for that first set, and then I have to pay to ship them over and get them out. So I think it would be trying to avoid spending massive amounts, and there's no guarantee that you're going to make profit. So you want it as cheap as possible. That would be the worst thing, I think.
I suppose your customer base. I remember during the COVID, we started baking. My daughter was baking cakes. I was doing some fried chicken, some barbecue chicken, mac and cheese, a bit of jollof rice. It was a mixture of different things. And I remember I had an order in Enfield, and it was quite specific, this young man. And I remember I literally just done 15 chicken wings to go in his box. And then he changed his order at the last minute. So I had to do like an additional 15 chicken wings, but I just hadn't prepared.
Yeah.
So the time that it had been taken to, so you really have to, take into consideration exactly what you're doing. Just look at the pros and cons of everything.
So before actually investing money, you really need to do some legwork,
but there's so much profit. The profit margin in food is really wide.
Similarly,
food and drink.
My son and I've always sold cakes before lockdown. But in lockdown is when I engaged my son. He will just get up and bake. You've seen him in the kitchen. Okay. So I kind of said to him, look, this is how much it costs to make it. I'll sell it for this much. You can have a fiver of that. Fiver goes back into business and whatever else.
Yeah.
And then that's how he started, and that's been his side hustle, and he does it now. He's got
Wow.
his little job. He's got a job in co-op, but he sells his cakes. On Friday, he will come in, you see him there whipping up his cakes.
Well done.
He's got his own little things, and I think it's good to encourage him. I think he sees it with me and with his dad that we're both very we're out there. There's lots of ways of making money, and this is one of them. And I'm really proud of him with his little cake business. And I look at him and I think, hustle, baby, hustle.
Yeah.
I think I love that. I love that. Absolutely love it. I think one of the hard things about having a side hustle or being part of the gig economy is time. Like, you don't work like everybody else. You're not structured to get up at 9 to 5 and, finish and go home and make dinner. You're not structured to do any of that. So let me exclude the gig economy because I can't really speak from that side. But from the side hustle side of it, having that full-time job, committing practice time into the DJing, crafting and making clothes, it's sometimes exhausting. And when you calculate the amount of time it takes for you to create something, you think, am I charging enough? Am I charging enough for my time? So you have to really think about what it is that you want to do and how much investment. I'm talking about blood, tears and sweat investment, not just monetary aspect. You got to think about all of those things and think, how is this going to work for me and mine?
And is it worth it?
And is it worth it?
Is it worth it? It's like when you're putting on, for example, events. Like I had a really great event Friday, but we started doing it from last year, and we made nothing. We paid nothing. We're running around. We've got to get the DJs in. We've got to pay people. So far, we made no profit really. Whereas now, this last one, we made a little bit of profit, and our other event, we made a decent bit of profit. But it takes such a long time to get there. But now, hopefully, this little side hustle is going to be a little money spinner. But it takes time and it takes patience. And then it's sometimes like, what am I actually doing this? Like, what am I doing it for? Well, but there are good moments. When you see the
fruit of your labor. The seed is germinating. The tree
and
growing.
Every company started somewhere. So if you think about McDonald's and KFC, they all started off somewhere. So I believe the man started off in his little caravan or something. And was it KFC? One of them.
Well, KFC was hustling, taking chicken rounds to people's houses.
Yeah. So little by little, you will build yourself up. It's about consistency, that perseverance, and you'll get there.
Yeah, resilience.
Give up.
Great nugget to add. My thing is, like, why do we, is it everyone or is it just me? Like, I think maybe you might be able to resonate with this one, that where like I will come up with an idea and oftentimes I run with it, sometimes without planning. Now, in the last couple of years, I've been prepared. I've learned a lot. And now I really push back on some of my ideas. I think some people are plants, some people are designers, some people are creative, some people are the brain behind mechanics of things that happen. Like even our team, our small team, we have certain people doing different things, and down to their gifts, qualities, and talents, they're able to make those things happen. We're in front of you, and we're obviously talkers, even though I don't consider myself much of a talker.
We got our researcher over here.
Okay, just to finish off on that then. So, 79% of individuals said that they did prefer the gig economy over the traditional job. So that's 70%.
Why did you find out why they preferred it? I'm sure you can even elaborate on why.
Because of the flexibility, and all the other benefits that come with working your own hours.
You're your own boss. You really are. Yeah. But like you said, though, in some professions it can be tricky. Because even though you're your own boss and you're working for all these clients, you actually don't. You still got to go into, and you still got to make sure certain things are happening.
Oh, of course,
right?
Or you're gonna miss your deadlines.
So again, but somebody that's selling donuts, for example, can decide tomorrow I'm gonna go park outside Asda if I've got street license, market license, local market license, or park outside Asda tomorrow because I feel like it. And I'm gonna make £300, £1,000, and that's that. I can call it a day. And tomorrow I sit in bed and do nothing.
Well, the consistency is key. Do you understand? Because if you're gonna get relaxed. I won't say lazy. If you're going to get relaxed and do that, for all you know, that day that you took off was the day that someone's going to come along and invite you into the supermarket. So
Right.
it's all about consistency and perseverance, you know?
Yeah.
Believe in yourself and believe in your dream. Like, what's his name?
Believe in yourself.
What's that
The rest is
Kentucky
up
man's
to me,
name?
and don't go
Colonel, whatever. He started
chasing
somewhere, and
waterfalls.
now he's
Sorry,
worldwide.
Kay. Heard that song.
Yeah.
Sorry, that
But
cut you off.
there are benefits of like, structure of having being in contract employment, like sick pay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The benefits, but I do think the freedom would be nice if you can find a good enough place in the gig economy that you're making enough money that you can be comfortable and that you can afford to sit back. And I think that's what I'm working towards. I want to get to the stage where I don't have
It's a full time.
Yeah, like my side hustle is a main hustle, and I don't
Yeah.
have to depend on going into work.
Yeah,
Sure.
interesting.
Yes.
I think it's really good that we all have different perspective and various experiences with side hustle and also being part of the gig economy. I'm sure that a lot of you have had different experiences and challenges and things that you would and could have shared. But I also would like to encourage some of you that I've got these experiences to possibly pass on the knowledge you know and mentor somebody. People that come to you, if you've got the time, please do share what you've learned. It's just a way for us to grow ourselves, grow our community, and also pass on things that we've personally learned. So today's talk back has been about side hustles and the gig economy, and also we touch up on this week's trending topic. Any last words, ladies?
Keep hustling, keep making money, keep striving. I think it's important that we are not confined, and I think you can get a little side hustle, something that inspires you. Try and make money doing the things that you love.
Me? Okay, so guys, yes, definitely find your talent, find your passion, and an indication to that is anything that you love to do, anything that you can find that you can do for free, that you can wake up in the morning and say, look, I just want to do this. It's connected to your talent, it's connected to your dreams.
Whoa, wait. Sorry, Kay. I'm really sorry to cut you off. Apparently, we have a caller on the line.
Oh.
Hello, caller. We got caller. Hi, caller. Hello, caller.
Hi, good evening, ladies.
To the caller. Hello.
Hi, good evening, ladies.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hi, where are you calling from and what's your name?
My name's Sasha. I'm calling from Gloucester.
Sasha from Gloucester. Thank you so much for calling. Is there anything that we've discussed today that you would like to shed a light on or you want to just gist with us about?
In terms of the side hustles, just say thank you. You've got some good points. And I think just encouragement to keep on going, because sometimes I think one of you ladies mentioned it is hard when you've got a 9-to-5 job and then you're still trying to think of making this side business or whatever it is work as well. And I just get tired, just can't be bothered at times. Just stress of the day, you just want to come home and have a glass of wine and sleep, or, you know, so it's just, I think one lady said just consistency. But with regards to your trending topic, what I did want to say, just to add, is that in regards of this lady, she wasn't like a, what do you call it, a gold digger per se. No, she's an actress.
Oh
Wow.
Why does she want 50%?
So she had her own. She still wanted 50%, but she's an actress. But the plot twist, which I found really funny, was that the fact that he now has no assets, he apparently can lay 50% claim on her $3 million worth assets. So it was almost like she tried to get half of his. And
have a go.
Oh my God!
Bad. Okay, Sasha.
Oh my God, Sasha! You just gave us some tea. Thank you very much. You guys had that.
But I love the show and just well done.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Thank you so much,
Appreciate it.
Sasha,
All
for
right.
calling from Gloucester. I really, really appreciate you. Oh my God, that's so
Thanks
sweet.
for that.
Thank you so much.
See,
Sasha.
you were being mighty harsh to her. You know what I mean? You But what I'm saying is that she's not necessarily a gold digger. Is it? Do you have a right to to the
why-
money of your partner.
Well,
Because now that he's got a right to her, then we're like,
Yeah.
should he? I mean, is that all right for him to say, you know what, honey, I want half? I mean, I think
he's cheeky, actually. I think he's cheeky. No, because imagine if he hadn't done that, then she would have had the chance to get half.
I think they're both being petty.
I
I
don't
think they're
think he's
definitely being
necessarily
petty. If she's sitting down with free meal, why is she trying to get half of his money? Right? And if now she has free meal, obviously, and he's saying, I don't have it because my mum's got it, now he's trying to get hers, they're being
I
petty,
don't know
man.
if he's actually. I wonder if Sasha's still there because he's actually trying to do that, or are they just saying that? Because I don't think that
She
he
has
would try
the
to pursue it in that sense.
But he's probably worth a lot more than her.
Footballers probably get some of them get $3 million a month.
Yeah, he's probably
yeah.
definitely
So that's
worth
a
more than her.
different level
Or
of
some
living.
a week
like,
even. Some one of them's on some kind
and when
of.
you're rich, when you got $3 million and someone's got 150 million, you feel poor. That's how these people think. Whereas me, you give me 50K.
So for any of you that's just joined the show, we're happily wrapping up. It's been a really, really interesting show. Once again, thank you so much to Sasha from Gloucester for calling in and giving us some tea on earlier trending topic in regards to earlier trending topic. And also her view on today's main topic, which has been side hustle and the gig economy. Until next week, guys, please look after yourself, stay safe, and stay happy. Thank you.
No water.
You had the right laugh, though. Yeah, we had the right laugh.
Definitely.
I need the teeth.